Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are excited to have a great conversation coming up tonight. So if you have friends that might be interested in this, please get them to join us on all of the different platforms where we will be streaming live from. And so you'll be learning a lot. If you're interested in AI, if you're interested in saving some time in the work that you're doing, you are in the right place. So without further ado, I'll pull out the French. I am joined here by three members and of a great thing. I've been using this for almost a year. I've been testing it out. It has been amazing. And you'll learn a little bit more about them and the work they're doing. You'll get a chance to dive in and create an account and see just like that wow factor. So for those of you joining in, if you don't know, I am Rachelle Dené Poth. This is the ThriveinEDU Live. We do some different podcasting and we do some different live streams like we're doing here today. I will share a link. So if you just happen to come across us having a conversation and you are interested in the resources and the recordings that we will share after, I will be sharing a ticker. I'll drop the link in so you can sign up and register to make sure that you get all of that information. But first, I want to make sure that everybody is aware of who I am joined by today. So I'm going to start with Andy Gunawardena, who is a professor of computer sciences and the co-founder of SmartSlides and Qubits. And so Andy, would you let us know a little bit about you and your background?
So my background is I'm a computer science professor, a long-time computer science professor. I work at Cunningham, Princeton, and other places. So I'm very passionate about technology and technology in education. So I worked on many platforms before SmartSlides and Qubits, like Classroom Salon and TechCentric and things that we have done. In fact, we have sold our technology to Pearson and other big companies. So I'm really excited to be here.
And I am very excited to have you here and also be joined by who I'm introducing next. So thank you so much. So next we're going to go to Daivik Patel, who is a senior at Rutgers University and a designer and many other things involving SmartSlides, but I don't want to take away. So if you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit about who you are and the work that you do.
Yeah, sure. So hi, everyone. I'm Daivik Patel. Like you said, I'm a current senior at Rutgers University, and I study mathematics as well as computer science. So I've spent the past few years here building AI systems with Professor Guna across research and real-world applications. And we're really excited to share with you SmartSlides today. I think it's a really powerful tool for educators all across the globe, and I hope it's going to be really useful for everyone.
Yes, and I do agree, and I'm smiling as you and Andy both spoke, and one more guest to join us. But as somebody who has used this and tried this, it's been that wow. And so I'm excited for people joining in now or even later to learn a little bit more about it. So thank you for your introduction. And finally, on to Shrenik Patel, who is a co-builder and a lot. I know it's not just one thing because we all wear many hats. So could you give a little bit of an introduction about who you are, your role, and any information you want to share with all of us joining in today?
Sure, yeah. I'm actually the twin brother of Daivik, so we're both seniors at Rutgers studying math and computer science, and we actually started working on SmartSlides it's been maybe 1.5 years, and so we put a lot of our sort of technical thinking around how we can build the best product to convert lecture slides into high quality videos. And we are all very, very excited to share this with you guys today.
Yeah, and I didn't know that you were twins, but I was starting to think that potentially that you might have been. So I am very excited for people to learn about SmartSlides as well. And for somebody, I've been working in the AI space for over 8 years now, I think and it's just amazing to see what, every day there's something new. And as an educator, it's like, oh, I spend a lot of time making presentations or doing videos, or, oh, saying, I wish, I wish, I wish. And I remember last summer diving in and just creating something for a conference that I was presenting for and sending it to the team. And they were just amazed. They're like, how did you do this? This is amazing. And I myself was amazed. I'm like, wow, I had no idea. And I'm going to ask a question before we dive into some of the, actually looking at it. And, whoever wants to answer this, but the question I like to ask is, usually it's, the story behind it, the inspiration, what led to you thinking like, hey, there's this need, we should do this, like any of those initial questions that led you to design and to start working on what you've been working on now for a long period of time. But we know it doesn't happen overnight. Like, you need the feedback, and there's a lot of testing and all of those things. So I don't know who feels like you want to respond to that, but by all means, feel free to chime in. And I'm doing this. It's not me.
Okay, let me take that question, right? So I'm a professor, so I teach, and I also see students struggling to understand the things that I cover in the class. Typically, my lectures have about 250 to 300 students, so these are huge lectures, and I probably get to about 10% of the students with my concepts. So I was thinking about, like, how can I take my slide deck and convert that to a video without having to spend a lot of time, because I don't have a lot of time to record videos. I used to do that when I was like 15 years ago and post them on YouTube, and people watched it, but all of them took so much time. And because I'm teaching AI and other subjects, they are also changing very quickly. And so this means that I have to constantly create these videos. The videos don't last very long anymore. And so what I thought was, so how can we do this? And how can I also create videos that are editable by humans? So we want the human in the loop idea. We don't want the AI to do all the work. We want the AI to help us do the work, but not all the work. Because we are still humans, we want to have the human language, so communicating, right? So that was the motivation. And then luckily I found these two guys who wants to work with me on research, and we are all doing AI research. And we knew we were computer scientists, so we could build some things, but Daivik is like a real good at UX, UI and UX. So that was quite important, because I build products that doesn't work. People get confused, but SmartSlides is one of the products that we built, which is very smooth. I can give it to someone who is very non-technical, and they'll figure it out within a few minutes, right? So that was really the motivation, to create things quickly and change things quickly and share things quickly. That's the idea.
Yeah, and I love and even though you say quickly, we all know that it's not something that happens very quickly, right? It feels like you hear about it, and then you're like, wow, it does all these great things. But often I say we, including myself as an educator, don't know all of the work that went behind it, and all of the feedback and the testing and the like, oh, and then, oh no, and going back and forth. And so you're constantly iterating, but that's such a good model to set for anybody, because nothing, works well the first time. And especially in the scenario we are in right now, where you're providing something for educators, or really for anybody to do what you are offering, you want it to be perfect and as seamless as you can. And I know, as somebody who was an early adopter, and I will consider myself to be a beta tester, like I said, I was just amazed. One of the first things that I did, and I know we're going to have a demo and show people exactly like what this looks like here, but I like to share that like wow moment. And we are 3+ years into all of these AI, generative AI, and a lot of different tools, and it feels like it's something so new. But I took my resume, was one of the first things that I did. And it talked about me, as I'm like, how is this happening? And I think about the potential, and that was when we first connected. And I think about all the progress and things, the changes that you've made since then. So I know that I personally cannot wait to see what you're going to share. And for anybody who does create videos or is thinking about bringing AI into the classroom, like the number one thing is there's not enough time. We don't know what resources to use. Can we trust these resources, and a lot of other things. And what I like and love about what you're doing is you are involving students. And I think that's so important to have students in the process, and to have those conversations. And so anybody who's joining in, like I've said, ask questions. You're going to create an account. You're going to try this out. We want to hear your feedback. And so with that, I think it's probably a good time right now to dive into a demo of what the SmartSlides platform looks like. And so anybody who's joining, open up another tab, just follow along. The recording will be shared with you as well as some other resources. So if you miss something, do not worry. If you worry about time, do not worry about that as well, because it is really easy to get started. And so are we ready for like the wow factor? All right.
Yes, I can start off by I'm going to be sharing my screen in just a few moments here to walk through the demo. But for anybody who is listening in right now, don't feel like you need to open up a new tab just yet and try to follow along. I think it would be helpful to first sort of just see sort of the platform itself, and then I'll walk through some of the basic features so that you have some context and background, and then we'll have some time towards the end for you to also like try out the platform yourself, and then provide any feedback that you may have about it. So I'll start off by sharing my screen, and then I'll give you a walkthrough of sort of the platform so far. So if we navigate to smartslides.org, this is our landing page, and I'm just going to give a quick demo of the platform essentially. And in order to create an account, all you need to do is click Get Started and then input your email address. You'll receive a 6-digit PIN, and this is going to be your code to essentially like log in and log out of the platform anytime that you want to. And then for demo purposes, I've logged into a separate tab over here into one of our test accounts. And so once you log in, you're going to be taken to this dashboard page. And here you can sort of see all of the videos and content that you may have created in the past. And you have the option to either download anything that you have already created or edit something that you have created as well. And then I'll also share some more functionality on this page once we actually go ahead and create something. And then on the top right, you're going to see the number of credits that you have in your account. Credits are really useful because they are essentially the way that you're able to create new videos. And then your credit usage is basically proportional to the length of the videos that you create. So let's start with a simple example. Say I have like a short slideshow that I want to convert into a small video, or into a small video lecture to serve as supplementary material for any students or any group that I am teaching or lecturing to. All I need to do is click Upload Presentation, and then I can choose a PowerPoint slide. For demo purposes, we are going to be creating a video on photosynthesis. So this is going to be a short slideshow on photosynthesis. So once the video once your PowerPoint file is uploaded, all you need to do is select whether you want to create a single video from all of the slides, or you want to split the slides and then create multiple videos. The multiple videos are really useful for when you have a really long slideshow and you want a video for each part of the slideshow. So I can show you how that will sort of look like. So say, we had a lot more slides, and right now we just have 5, but say we had like maybe 20 or 30 slides and we wanted to split it up. all you have to do is click Add Separator, and then you can essentially define groups. And what will happen is that the platform will create one video per group, and you can move these separators, you can add new separators, and then you can also delete separators. And so in this way, you have a complete freedom over how you want to divvy up your slides into different videos. So for demo purposes, we'll just create a single video because again, this is only 5 slides. And then over here in this timeline feature, if you wanted to, let's say you wanted to hide some slides, you could also do that by clicking this X button, which is basically going to exclude the slide from the resulting video. But once we're happy with this, we can move on to creating scripts. So we'll press create scripts. Here you can choose a language. So far we support English, Spanish, French, Italian, and German. And we're going to add more support for more languages in the near future as well. But this is really important because it allows you to essentially take one video in your native language, let's say English, and then convert it to all of these different other languages. And that allows you to distribute your video across different student populations, different people, and essentially it just makes it way more accessible. For demo purposes, I'm going to choose English. And then the next choice you have is how would you like to create scripts? So you can either manually create scripts, which means that for each slide in your presentation, you're going to write a script for that slide, and that script will turn into a narration for that specific slide in the video. Or you can start with AI-generated scripts, and then you'll be able to edit them. Because again, the biggest thing is that we don't want this to be a full AI solution. The human should always be in the loop because that's what ensures quality in the videos that are created. So for now, I'm going to start with AI scripts, and then this will take a little bit of time to essentially, for each slide, create a script that is educational and based on the text, content, and any images that are on the slide. Our backend will try to basically build a full understanding of the slide and then create a script based on that. And so you can see that once that's done, we're taken to this sort of editor page. And on this editor page, we have the AI generated script for each of the slides here. And then we have if you scroll down, we have a suite of features over here. So you can choose sort of the duration of the script for the specific slide. What kind of tone do you want? Professional, casual, enthusiastic? What kind of voice do you want? So for voices, this is referring to the narration of the specific script in the video. So the way this works is that you can choose different voices that we have on file, such as like male professional voice, a female professional voice, or you can even add a custom voice. And the way to do that is simply to click add custom voice, and then it will prompt you to upload a small, like 30-second audio clip of yourself speaking so that we can essentially have a clone of your voice, and then you can use that as a voiceover for the video. And then you can also regenerate the script using AI if you didn't think that this was sufficient. And then, of course, you can also like manually edit any of the scripts that were generated. And then over here, you'll see a plus button underneath each of the slides. And this is one of the unique aspects of SmartSlides, is essentially the ability to insert clips between slides. And this is really important because it makes videos that are much more dynamic. Say that you have some content on a slide and you want to follow that content up with some visual demo of maybe a little animation, or it could be you talking about or giving a live demo of something, or it could be a clip that was found on the internet that you think would be useful and helpful to add more context to your presentation. This is exactly how you would do it. So for our purposes, I've found like a little animation of photosynthesis online, and I've essentially uploaded that into the clip library, which I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But yeah, I'm going to use that photosynthesis animation clip over here. So once I clicked it, you can see that this becomes a little blue video icon, which symbolizes that there's going to be a clip after this slide. And similarly, we can add multiple clips if we want to. This is just a really neat way to make videos dynamic. So let's say that you're satisfied with the scripts, any clips that you wanted to add, and you're ready to sort of create the video. At the bottom over here, you're going to see an estimate of how many credits creating this video will take. And then let's say that you're satisfied with that and you're ready to go. Then the last step is simply to basically press create videos. And then this is going to go through our backend. And what we're going to do is essentially create the audio for all of these slides and then use that to essentially build a video that also includes all of the clips that that you have put in like the order that you've put them in. And so once this is done, you'll see in just a few seconds, we're going to have a high quality video that was created using AI, but also using your own human input, because again, that's like the most important part, being able to have some autonomy over this process so that it's not like completely reliant on the AI. So this will take a few seconds over here in order to build the video and process it. And there we go. You can see over here that the video was created successfully. We can like sort of play a little bit of it. I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear it, but I'll show you when the clip comes up. So here's the clip, right? It's just a little small animation of like the photosynthesis process itself. But yeah, you can see that we've created a full video, and this is something that you can now use and distribute among your students, or any other group of people that you have essentially made this video for. We can download this video to your computer, or we can go back and edit this video anytime. So we can go to our dashboard again, and you'll see that over here, we've like the new video that we just created appears. You can click this little paperclip button to essentially create a shareable link. So if I copy this link, open a new tab, and then paste it, you'll see that this is basically the video we just created. And this makes it so that we don't need to share MP4 files between one another, because depending on the video length, that can be quite a hassle. So this allows you to essentially have a shareable link, almost just like a YouTube link that you could share very easily with anybody that you want to. And then we can also always have the option to go back and edit anything in the video. So if I click this again, you'll also see we have a bunch of other features here. So you can get transcripts for the video. These will essentially download an SRT file with timed captions. And this is really useful if you wanted to, let's say, upload this video on YouTube. You can also upload the SRT file that we generate for you, and it'll make sure that captions appear in the video that are timed down to the exact time that those words were said. You can get a summary of the video, which will essentially download a summary in PDF form. You can also create MCQ questions. If you're a teacher or instructor, you want to sort of quiz students on this content or make sure that they had a good grasp, you can do that as well. And then lastly, you can edit the video, which will bring us to this same editor that you saw before, with the same functionality to essentially edit any of the clips, any of the scripts, whatever you want to edit, and then regenerate the video for further use. So you don't need to feel like you need to get it right the first time. You can always come back and make any changes that you think are necessary. And then the final thing that I wanted to touch upon is also the clip library. Like I mentioned before, we have different clips that you can upload. So all you have to do is press upload clip, give it a name, and then you'll upload an MP4 file. And you can choose whether you want this to be a private clip, meaning that it'll only be stored on your account, or a public clip, meaning that it can be a clip that other people can use in their own videos as well. And then for any existing public clips, you can simply press the toggle over here, and you'll see any existing clips that we have in our library. We're looking to essentially expand this clip library to have hundreds and hundreds of clips that would be useful for different types of videos, clips addressing different domains, like math, science, history, English, different demos, whatever types of clips would be helpful in a video. We're trying to have a huge library of them, and then eventually you'll be able to search through them and then find the clips that work best for your video as well. So that's something to look forward to regarding the platform. And then, yeah, so this was a quick sort of demo of how to use SmartSlides. You can see that in just a few minutes, we're able to go from slides to a really high quality video that can be distributed to anybody that you want. And this is extremely powerful because it saves you so much time in creating videos, and then it also gives you the chance to make your content accessible to a wider range of people through the languages feature, and then also create different types of content from your videos, such as the MCQ questions, the summaries, and things like that. And so overall, this was a quick demo of the SmartSlides platform, and I urge you guys to go on smartslides.org right now, make an account, and then try something yourself. I think you'll be surprised at the kinds of things that SmartSlides will enable you to do. So yeah, thank you for listening to this really quick demo of SmartSlides.
No, that was absolutely great to go through and just to see, like, here's where you start and how quickly you go through the process, because that's that whole wow factor. And in the work that I've done over 8 years now, I have a survey that I always use, and I have questions that say, like, hey, like, what is the most challenging when it comes to bringing technology into the classroom? And I only gave 4 options, but one of them is, time, resources, and I won't mention the other 2, but primarily a bulk of it, it's always the time. And I think learning curve is another one as well, and just that navigation. And for me, not everybody, everybody's different. So you have some people that are like, I'm going to dive in. I don't need you to tell me where to go. I just want to like click and figure things out. Oh, 3 dots. Great. Like, I'm just going to click on that, or the waffle or hamburger symbol, whatever, however you call it, and dive into it. But the thing about this is, like, it is so user friendly and getting started with it and just what it creates. And like I said, for anybody who's just joining in now, because we have some people joining in, I'm putting some comments onto our screen right now. And Melissa joining in, a friend of mine. It's like you hear about these things, but conceptually, I still struggle. I'm like, how is this possible? How do people come up with these things that years past took forever to do? Or you were like, oh my goodness, I'm going to need hours upon hours to do this. And now you have this available where educators like myself, who may or may not have taught something before, can go in and create something, upload something, whatever it is. And they have this other thing created very quickly while we're talking. And so thank you for the demo. And, continuing on with that, just thinking about anything else that you want to share, whether as a demo or people that are joining in that are on their computer and they're ready. They listen to you and now they're like, hey, okay, I want to go, I want to create something. David, not to put you on the spot, but you feel like, yeah, could you instruct somebody like what the steps are in the process to actually, dive in, get started, sign up, and where to begin with this?
Yeah, sure. So like you guys saw in the demo, all you really need is an email address to sign up, because once you have the email address, we'll send you a PIN, and using that PIN, you can automatically log in. And like, again, you guys saw there's center stage, you have a button that says upload your PowerPoint presentation. And it doesn't even have to be a PowerPoint presentation. It can be a PDF as well. So we really offer kind of multiple formats in that sense. And as soon as you upload it, you guys will have the option to select single videos or multiple videos, right? Like in our demo that we saw for photosynthesis, we just had a single video, but we could very well have, let's say, photosynthesis and another process that we want to highlight. And in that case, you might want to have 2 separate videos to share with students. So I think like, yeah, and then once you get your videos, you have full autonomy to edit your scripts. You can use the power, or you can kind of use AI if you guys need to fast track, or if you want to be more creative or get different perspectives. AI will be there to kind of guide your scripts, and you can fully like write them yourselves as well. Autonomy is something we realize that's unique to every educator, and I think that in the world of AI and automation, autonomy and creativity shouldn't be lost. So I hope you guys are able to see that very well in our demo. And I think we hopefully will also be able to share that link, that shareable link. I think everyone in this stream can actually copy and paste that link into their own browsers and see for themselves the quality of the photosynthesis video that was just made. So we'll be sharing that as well. And then we also have like transcripts and MCQ questions, and we want to also give more features in the future as well. But for now, we do have that MCQ feature that I think Shrenik mentioned briefly, but maybe didn't demo. So I can give you a little more detail on that. For example, if you guys want to make MCQ questions for your students, it would you basically are allowed to select kind of the number of questions you want to make, how difficult you want to make the questions. And then we also will actually generate an answer key for those questions for you. So these are just simple tools that we kind of included in our platform because we know educators and high school teachers would find value out of them, and it kind of would help bring like some sort of efficiency into your process and allow you to kind of cater towards students of all different levels in a more meaningful way. So yeah.
And I have to say, it's kind of ironic, and this was not planned, but anytime I do a demo of anything with AI, the prompt always involves photosynthesis. I am not a Spanish teacher. I could pick a shorter word to type in there because, you're typing live in front of somebody, photosynthesis, but it's great to see how it unfolds. And, people are making comments. So thank you so much for joining in about like, it's an amazing platform. They want information about how to log in, other details. And I do have some links that I'll be dropping in the chat. And if you filled out the form for registration and also for the resources, like you will get all of these resources after the fact. So if you didn't fill out the form, you may want to go ahead and fill out the form that we have. So I will put that back on the screen for you. And right now, just dropping into the chat, the link to the video. So if you want to check it out, just to get like that quick glimpse, you can go ahead and do that as well. And I wanted to come back to Andy before I have a couple of questions to ask. I always have questions, and I'm sure people have questions here. So please, by all means, drop the questions in if you're curious about anything. And thank you both for the demo and the information, because it's great. I always say it's great to hear from students, no matter what grade level that they are in, especially when you're working on something and you're building it because you see the need for it. But Andy, coming back to you, because you have worked in a lot of different areas, and you've worked with students, you're working with this technology, you understand AI, and the list goes on and on. But based on what they've shared and some of the comments that you've seen, is there anything that you would like to add to the conversation before I start asking your group some questions?
No, I think these guys covered it very well. I didn't have to say much, right? So it's very clear why we did this, and we are so excited about the project. We are having a lot of fun doing it as technologists and creators. That's one of my passions, to really think about new things with the technology we have available today, and they continue to improve as we find more things. There's a lot going on in the back end for this product to make it simpler in the front end, right? So that's the key, because you have to, all these things. I'm very happy, and I hope people will try this and give us feedback, because this will continue to improve. We continue to develop. You're never done with any product.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, you are never. There's that constant like iterative process and just diving in and trying, and of course it comes down to like the prompting as well, what you put into it. And so, anybody that's joining in, like if you're joining us, like you have the time to dive in and try and multitask right now, because often what happens, and I know this because I've been there before, is you hear about something, you're like, that sounds great, it's awesome. But then the time just escapes you. And like I said before, the number one barrier that I've heard is a lack of time. So this is your time while we're hanging out here. It's an opportunity to ask questions from people who are working on this, and also to give feedback. So if you dive in and you're trying something, like give them feedback, whether it's, I always say today, tomorrow, next week. They want to hear because they want to make the best product and platform for us to use as educators. And so as you dive in, please let us know if you have any questions. And if you haven't signed up for the recording and the resources, I'm going to go ahead and put that banner back on the screen. I make these little tiny URLs that if you are joining in, all you have to remember, it's the SmartSlides web, very short for webinar. And you will be added to the list when I send out the resources for you. But it's time for me to turn the tables right now. So I have some questions that I'm going to ask, and I won't put anybody specifically on the spot. However, something in my work, speaking about AI and also having a legal background, I'm often asked when I say, what's the first thing you think of when you hear about AI? And I've had a lot of interesting answers for the first 5 years out of the last 8. But more recently, they have come down to this, and I'll put this on the screen. Data privacy has been huge when people that I've spoken with in training at schools and at conferences are worried about student data privacy. So my question to whoever decides to answer this is, how does this tool handle student data privacy? And is the AI generated content compliant with school district safety standards?
Sure, I can take this question.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a really good question, and it's honestly one of the first things that came up in our heads as we were creating SmartSlides itself. This was kind of the main question that guided the way we set up our backend. So SmartSlides takes privacy very seriously, especially as it is intended to serve K through 12 communities as well, not just colleges, right? So privacy and security matter a lot in those situations. So first, for example, SmartSlides does not require any personally identifiable student data to generate instructional videos. As you saw in our demo, the system is entirely focused on the teacher's content and the educator's content, and it's up to the educator to upload their content onto our platform, like their slides, lesson materials, and stuff like that. So because of that, we kind of avoid collecting or storing sensitive student information, like their names, etc., in the first place. And on top of all of this, all the content generation runs through several safety filters we've designed in our backend for school environments. So that means the outputs are monitored for age-appropriate language, instructional relevance, and alignment with typical safety expectations. And then from a compliance standpoint, the goal is to make SmartSlides something districts feel comfortable adopting, which is why, again, I want to reiterate this point that teachers stay in full control of what gets generated, what gets edited, and what gets shared. You're always welcome to edit your slides. You're always welcome to edit the scripts. You're always welcome to regenerate the video. So nothing is automatically pushed to the students without teachers reviewing it first. It's up to the teacher's discretion to publish a video that they deem high quality, and then it's up to them entirely, their choice to share it with their students. And we hope that they do find this tool really useful for creating instructional videos that are high quality, and that they do end up sharing with their students so their students can learn.
Thank you, because that is in the last 2 months, those words have come up so much, which understandably so, because of all the information and everything. There are concerns. And I always say, nothing's 100% guaranteed. So you better be safe than sorry and test these things out. So thank you for giving the insight into that. Another question that I have, and I know some other people have as well, and I'll put this one on the screen too, because I know that as an educator, longtime educator, it doesn't get easier the longer that we're in education. And I know, especially at this time of the year, I always say this time of the year is a great time to try a new idea, a new strategy, because we see a drop in student engagement. There's standardized testing. There's all of these different things that as educators that we have before the end of the year. And so teachers are a little bit, and students too, but teachers are a little bit exhausted. And so with working with this, how does transforming this static slide deck into a video in real time solve this? Like, I don't have time for this, because again, as an educator, I will, in full transparency, say, like, I felt that way. And a lot of people might be thinking that now, like, this sounds great, but so any advice that anybody can offer for this to solve that? I just don't have the time.
Yeah, sure. I'll take that question as well.
All right.
So I think this is a great question because, I mean, we all know teachers and educators are exhausted, right? We know teachers are already doing an incredible amount of work, like lesson planning, actually teaching, grading assignments, creating supplemental materials in their free time, hosting office hours, etc., whatever the case might be. So we kept this in mind, and we're very fortunate to have like Professor Gunawardena with us as well. He's been able to give us insight on how you make like SmartSlides, how you make the friction, like how you minimize that friction so it's super easy to use and it doesn't take like extra effort or extra time, right? So I think that the main thing is that SmartSlides eases this and helps like pivot what you already have, right? So instead of asking teachers to create new materials, we start with something they already have, right? Their slide deck or their lecture slides. So this might be a lesson they've taught to several classes, several students, like several times. So essentially in the demo, you guys saw that like with just a few clicks, SmartSlides is able to turn existing PowerPoints and presentations into a structured, narrated instructional video. And we use AI specifically to handle narration, pacing, visual emphasis, and transitions automatically. So you guys don't have to worry about editing the video really in terms of like those aesthetics or stylistic choices. Of course, you guys are free to do so if you want, but we've taken that burden off of you guys. And also, instead of spending hours recording, editing, and producing a video, teachers now essentially are just kind of reviewing and tweaking and adding their personal input and creativity to something that's already generated for them. And not even just generated, but exactly tailored to what they want, right? We offer tons of customization out there, like your own custom voice, your own custom tone, personalization. So teachers kind of we hope teachers are going to be like, oh, recording supplemental videos after class in my free time, like, oh, this usually takes me hours per week, to just like, oh my gosh, this took only a few minutes today. I can definitely like, keep making more content and kind of helping my students learn the materials better. So yeah, that's kind of our plan.
Rachelle, then I will also add another thing, because as a professor, when I go give a lecture, usually you feel it, right? The students, you look at student faces, they didn't get it, right? So I used to come back when I was teaching like 10, 15 years ago. I used to come back and reduce the slide deck into like 3 or 4 slides. I kind of have a feel that they didn't get this part of the video. So now when I give a lecture and I come back to my office, I can just create a small short video for the students to really understand what I thought they didn't get in the class. I think that's a very important experience. Never get things the first time when they see, especially complicated concepts, right? So that's why I think it saves me a lot of time. I don't need to record in a recording studio, this kind of thing.
No, that's great points. And thank you for adding on to that. And we have lots of comments coming in. It's great. And so I'll make sure anybody's asking for links. No worries. As long as you take that link that was the registration form, just fill that in and you will get a follow-up email that has the recording link, also has some of the links we've talked about with the video, how to get started, anything else that is relevant for you, just to like dive right in and just think, wow, I have saved a ton of time. And speaking of time, I have a lot of questions that I could ask for you. However, one that really comes to mind because it's been mentioned a lot, and it's talking about the human element, the human in the loop, using some of these different AI tools where I've talked about like the don'ts when it comes to AI, like don't replace relationships. And when I looked at that initially, it was like, great, we can use AI and have something to assess students and it can give them, AI generated feedback and we don't have to talk to them. But we actually do, because feedback needs to be meaningful, authentic, and timely. And so, with this, and the next question I'm going to ask you, and it will be probably the last one unless somebody comes in with one. I'm mindful of everybody's time tonight. But the question would be, well, we're thinking about, using these AI tools. So, having control over the tone, the narration, how does it help educators, no matter what their role is or what grade they're working with, keep that, their own voice? Because it's easy to just type something in quick and just, and I always say, like, the kids resonate with you. Like, you build that classroom culture, that community, and using AI does save time. But how does having, like, I don't want to call anybody out on this one, but how does it help us to keep that, unique voice, instructional voice alive in this digital format?
Yeah, sure. So for this, I think it kind of boils down to that personalization aspect. That's such a core emphasis of SmartSlides. It's something we engineered SmartSlides with, and it was very important for us to make sure teachers have the option and the ability, as well as the autonomy, to kind of maintain their unique style when they create instructional videos generated with AI, right? So we understand that teachers have their own style of communication. And so with SmartSlides, we are not replacing their voice. We want teachers to have full control over how it comes through in video form, right? So again, we have options like they can adjust their pacing, their tone, level of depth, of explanation, etc. So for example, they might choose like a slower, more step-by-step narration for students who are kind of struggling with a concept, or a faster recap version for students who already understand the basics. And this is really easy to do with the suite of features we have in the platform. And we also, of course, offer teachers to use their own voice with like our custom AI voice feature, right? So for this, all a teacher needs to do is really upload a minute of themselves speaking naturally, or 30 seconds to a minute, I believe, of themselves speaking naturally. And what we'll do in the backend as SmartSlides, we'll try to capture their voice and replicate their voice from their narration. And this does work remarkably well. I think that a lot of teachers and educators, when they try this out, will kind of be surprised and also pretty pleased with their voices being generated. So I think it is a really neat feature we offer. And so our hope is that when students do watch these lessons, it sounds more personable and it sounds like their teacher explaining their material, or explaining the material, not just like a generic monotone narrator. We know that AI voices can be monotone, and this is something we want to avoid, especially in videos, because students do like have a hard time with their attention spans these days. So I do think it's very important for teachers to kind of emphasize their own personal voice in their lectures or in the videos that they create. So yeah, we're hoping that the features that we've built in, or kind of that SmartSlides comes baked in for you guys right now, if you try it out, we'll have these, or at least make this super customizable for you. And also on that note, I kind of want to mention that it's super important right now for us to get feedback, and we are super open and excited for feedback. We've kind of spent many, many months in the making, heads down building, and we've asked like a few professors around, but of course we want other educators to give us input. So if something doesn't feel intuitive for you guys, if there's something in the user experience that you think can be improved, please do let us know. And we hope that we can give you guys the proper support and communication through that. And we want to make our platform better and more accessible to all educators. So we are super excited and we look forward to hearing your feedback. That would probably be the best thing you guys can provide for us. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, feedback is the key, right? And often, no matter who it is, sometimes you fear the feedback because it might be good, it might not be so good, but feedback is how we continue to learn and grow and improve, and that's the essence of learning and getting better. And so we definitely, I mean, myself included, but you definitely want the feedback. You want people to try this out. And there are some comments that came in. You know, we're being viewed on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on X, Twitter, whichever you call it, and also in a few communities on Facebook. And some people are, you know, they're very excited to try this. You know, they're about to record some mini lessons for this week. And so now they've learned about this new platform. Another viewer, Melissa, that was Stormy, the first one, said, I can't wait to try this out. Thanks for the demo. And so you have the link to sign up for the registration. And then I will be sending out, like I said, the email to everybody with some links, with the videos, everything that we've dropped within this as well. And oh, we got friend. Oh, answering the poll. I put a poll there together as well to see if anybody who had joined in, new feature, had tried generating AI powered videos. And so some haven't. And it really is an amazing thing to try. So any other last things that anybody would like to share with anybody that is watching, advice, examples, you know, things that you've seen, some wow factors, for example, or, you know, maybe what makes this, and this might be a difficult question, again, being mindful of time, but, you know, why is this different for educators? And not that you have to answer all of those, but if there's any last words you'd like to share before we wrap up and then send everybody on their creativity journey, let me know. And no pressure.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I can. Yeah, I think. Yeah, no. Thanks for this opportunity to really talk about it. It's been an amazing experience creating because we looked at all the tools out there that we looked at those things and we said, you know, none of those really bring this human element into the video creation process. So we made a lot of effort to do that. And I think as a teacher, I bring my experience of sort of having to go through the class and taking care of the students. That experience is built into this product. So its product is not built by a team. The team understands exactly who our audience is, right? So we're very excited to see people using this tool. Shrenik, you want to say something?
Yeah, I guess I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who has shown up to this and then has, you know, watched the demo or are excited to try it out. Again, we have designed the platform so that it is as intuitive as possible, but of course we can always do better and we can always improve. So feel free to give us your honest feedback. We are willing to hear anything that you guys would think is you guys may think is valuable in terms of improving the platform. And we really do strongly believe that this tool is immensely helpful when it comes to being able to create high quality supplementary material that can support students of all different ranges, all different ages, all different types of content. We wanted this to be fully customizable, fully personalizable, and be able to impact students no matter, you know, where they are, what level of learning they are, in a meaningful manner. And so all of that sort of love, care, and attention to detail has been poured into the creation of this platform.
And it definitely shows, as somebody who started using it a while ago. And I'll wrap this up. And I people that have asked questions about the registration link, I've dropped it in on LinkedIn and on Facebook. It is there on YouTube as well. And you can always reach out to me or to the team to give it a try if you have any questions, because they do need the feedback. But last summer when I used this, I took a PDF for an event I was speaking at, and it just made this amazing video. My resume talked about me, and I showed my students. I was like, can you believe what this is doing? And I know how much progress and how many changes you have made since that point. And at that point, it was already a wow factor. And I think of Ethan Malik and the quote, like, it's just going to get better from here. So, but to do that, you need the feedback. So the people that are joining in, thank you so much. You've dropped some comments, some questions in, links for registration. All of that information is being shared now. And if you fill out that form, I will be sure to send you all of the extra links, videos, tutorials. I have a PDF to share with you. The recording, if you missed part of it, of course, it will still live live on Twitter, X, however you want to call it, LinkedIn. It is available on YouTube. I make those little tiny URLs very easy to remember. So if you didn't notice, it's SmartSlides Web, just to throw that out there. But anything else anybody wants to add, feel free. But I am very thankful to have been joined by this amazing panel and to have the opportunity to not only try out SmartSlides and see just the wow of it, but to really hear from the beginning and as the progress is being made, especially when there are students involved as well. So super exciting. And Andy, great to be connected with you, seeing you on this journey and the people that are working with you and supporting the work and supporting the work of educators as well. So it has been a great, great experience. And I thank you all for your time.
Thanks a lot, Rachelle. Enjoy
Of course.
it.
Thank you so much, everyone. And just a quick one last announcement. If you guys want to try it out, it's just smartslides.org. Feel free to try it out right after this call if you guys do have the time. We'd appreciate your support a lot. So thank you.
Yeah, there is time, because I gave them the open up another tab before Shrenik did the demo. So yeah, please do, just take the time, take a few minutes, try one thing just to see what the impact is. Something that you've thought about, especially this time of the year, you're looking for new ideas or winding down. It's a great opportunity to try something new and then to have the chance to reflect on the impact of that as the year ends, as we move through the summer, we prepare for the next school year. So thank all of you for joining me in this panel. And thanks to everybody who has joined in on all of the different social platforms. Stay tuned for the resources and the recording. And, when you create something, let us know. Reach out to the team. Let them know what you're doing, how it's going, if you have questions or concerns, because they're just going to continue to work to make it better for you. So have a great evening, morning, because I know we have people joining in from all around the world. So for some of them, it's already April 15th, but appreciate your time and have a great rest of whatever is left in your day or evening, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.